welcome to the show. Tonight we have big laughs, interviews, games, and what more. Here on Chilling3000 Hangouts. With the host, Chilling3000. Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to the next edition of Chilling3000 Hangouts. Tonight, we have a lot of great stuff to get into. Starting off with an interview with Turd Ferguson, our good friend here at the gameshow community. So we'll be talking about how I got into the gameshow community and other stuff as well. And after that, we'll be doing the weekly baseball rundown number 2. And then we are going to be doing the Money Vault, after that ORIOLES conversation with Connor Newscobb, the host of the Locked on ORIOLES podcast. And after that, our Hangout Session. So, without further ado, let's begin tonight's episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts with our interview with Turd Ferguson right after these things. Now, go eat.
If you depend on your truck to last, here's news you should never forget. Of all the Chevy trucks built in the last 10 years, over 98% are still going strong. That's more than Ford, more than Toyota, more than Nissan. Over the years, no other truck is that dependable, foreign or domestic. Only Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Alright, everybody. Turd is not here yet. He's supposed to be coming here live to yet. Oh, it's gonna. Yep, he'll be here shortly. He just told me so. So that'll be fun to have some conversations with him. How's everybody doing here tonight on this Friday? We have Emo and William here so far with us. So hope you guys are having a good time here on this Friday. Let me know how your week has been in the chat below, and also what are your plans for the weekend. And as for my week, it wasn't a very good week, but it is what it is. Turd had told me he'll be here shortly, but be back there just in case. And this episode is brought to you by, let's just say, Rave and Rant. Why? Rave and Rant podcast was a great thing that we did back in, I think it was 2020, right? And I think we should bring that back here on Chilling3000 Hangouts. That'll be a 10 out of 10, if you will. Hopefully that will happen on the real Saturday Night Live in 2034. But Turd will be coming in soon, like I said. We have some great things here tonight. We have, we'll get the schedule here. After this, we have the second edition of the weekly baseball rundown. And then we have the Money Vault with a certain someone backstage who is here for that. And also ORIOLES Talk with Connor, who is the host of the Locked on ORIOLES podcast. And then we have our Hangout Session as usual. So that will be if I can get out of this, there we go. That will be our segments here for tonight. You know what? I'll actually, since it's been a couple minutes here, I'll bring in Danny for just one moment. How are you doing, Danny?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. No, I need to change the background here. There we go. Do you want to be part of this interview, actually, now I think about it, when Turd comes, or you want to be backstage?
Keep me backstage.
Okay. All right. So what's been on your mind for this week?
Well, it's April, and we're getting ready for Easter.
Yes.
And we have some exciting things planned for the Game Show Fan 2001 channel. I think we're going to do more clips of previous live streams, and I will be upcoming that we're going to be doing a compilation of game show hosts saying funny things.
Oh, game show host. Okay.
Yeah, a little out of context, funny bit.
Uh,
Now you
that.
may want to. That'll look bad out of context. You may want to get rid of that banner. Now he goes by the moniker Turd Ferguson, but his real name is Richard. I'm the only one here actually. I call him by his actual name. Like when he was playing Match Game with us, I called him Richard. I didn't call him Turd. I don't know why he goes by that name, but
it goes either way.
Like Jordy.
Oh yeah, he changed his name like a few times, like a few years ago for some reason, which was weird. And hope you, William and Emo are doing well. So as for our context, what is some of your favorite moments of a game show host saying things that predict the future?
That predicted the future. Well, there's a clip from October of 2012 where on Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak, he made a few mistakes and people were spinning the wheel, and then all of a sudden you hear Pat say, Seacrest is on speed dial.
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe they knew.
Yeah, maybe that was why they picked Seacrest.
12 years later, maybe so, yeah.
What's your thoughts on the rise, Mr. Seacrest?
As host, I think he's doing pretty good.
I wonder what Emo thinks about Seacrest, because he might watch Wheel of Fortune, or he might be a wheel watcher, you know.
Yeah.
But
or a Blue's Clues watcher.
Blue's Clues watcher. Wow. But speaking of Blue's Clues, has been I think it's still airing with Josh. I don't know if they.
Oh no, I think they ended it.
Blue's
Clues and you, yeah.
That's kind of like a odd line, you know. Blue's Clues and you, like it doesn't really fit together. Like with the you part, Blue's Clues and you, like it's basically the same show, but the you doesn't have anything to do with it, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like the you part of the Blue's Clues, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Emo has more thoughts about that, but it's just like, you know, the you part of the Blue's Clues, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Let me see what else do we have on my thoughts. So I guess I'll ask you this. What game shows would you love to see come back at the present time at the year? Like let's say game show pilots, for example. Like certain pilots that you want to see back in the World Series.
Well, in 1989, they did about 5 different pilots for Match Game, all taped in the same day, and only 2 of them have been seen by the public. So hopefully, I'd like to have whoever runs the Wink Martindale channel upload the remaining 3 pilots.
Yeah. I'm surprised. You know, I mean, Wink Martindale is one of the big ventures in the game show community, but as for having all of those game show pilots, I mean that's crazy.
Oh yes.
What about like actual game show series from back in the day that did not have a good run that you like to see come back and improve?
Well, I would say Lingo, but that already did come back on CBS. Yeah, I found the clip.
Oh, you want to share screen it?
No. I was just off track.
Danny is just filling in for Turd while he's on his way shortly. You know?
Yeah.
But get back to what you're saying.
Yes, another good game show that people people wanted Scrabble to come back, and that came back on the CW network with Raven Simone is the host, surprisingly.
Mm. And by the way, for those who are saying Deal No Deal is already came back, heck no. Deal No Deal Island stinks right now.
I admittedly liked the sneak preview episode, the very first one, but after that I was like, no, this is stupid.
And why is that?
It's not Deal or No Deal. It's just, I mean, it's a little bit Deal or No Deal, but it's mostly just reality show nonsense. And it didn't help that most of the other game show fans that I know hated it before even watching the full episode anyway.
Yeah. Because, like, it's not... I mean, Howie McDowell is, first of all, it's not hosting.
Yeah. Although he did... Well, at least he came down to be the banker. A surprise, right?
Yeah, but... I mean, it doesn't really come... I mean, him being the banker, yeah, that's cool, but... he's not physically there, like, you know. And plus, I forgot who's even the host of the show.
Of what show? Deal or No Deal Island?
Yeah.
Joe Manganiello.
Okay. To me, he doesn't have that suspicion type of hosting like how he did.
That's true.
But I do have a lot of episodes recorded because just to show the people that how wrecked it is. But but you know,
a lot of people have were pretended to be the banker too. Remember?
What do you mean?
Well, they had Larry King pretended.
Oh yeah, take from the old person. Okay,
yeah.
Larry King. Yeah. Number 47, 45.
Yes.
Now
he should have been the banker on Deal or No Deal Island.
Oh,
could you imagine?
With in New York City, you know.
Yeah, that's what they should have sentenced him to do.
Yeah. During his 4-year absence.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome, but that's too bad that he couldn't accept that role. But you were the banker on my Dear No Deal Jackpot, one of the episodes. How did that feel?
Oh, that was great. I'm a good banker for Deal or No Deal.
Yes, you are. And Dear No Deal is the 20th anniversary this year already. 20th anniversary.
Yeah, it turns 20 on December 19th.
Yeah. Which is very, very surprising because I'm 21 years, which is weird because I'm 21 years old. Like, I was born in the fall of 2003. I mean, it came in a year after, or so, year and a half or so after, but still. But yeah, Deal No Deal. Man, that was something else. I guess we can play the weekly baseball rundown too. Or let me actually take a look and see which one is longer. Let me take a look. Apologies for the wait on Turd, but he said he'll be here shortly, but he's taking. Okay, so that one's 23 minutes, and the other one's 30 minutes. So let's play the Orioles talk with Connor, of his talk with the Baltimore Orioles, and we'll be right back with our interview with Turd coming up soon. So let me get this point on. Hopefully, I have the up in the morning. Let me go to anything we want to promote. Oh, quick, Danny, want to load this up?
Yes. If you interested in the history of Game Show Network, just go to gsnarchives.maryheath.org, and you can follow me on Blue Sky Social at gsfan2001.bsky.social to find out all things Danny Lewis and all of my opinions on what's happening in the world.
All right. Enjoy this talk with Connor, and we'll be right back with the interview with Turd coming up soon. Alright, everyone, I'm here with Connor Newscom, the host of the Lockdown Orioles podcast. How you been doing this season so far?
Yeah, I've been good. The Orioles are under 500 to begin the year, but it's only been 11 games. And listen, when baseball's back, generally the positivity can run for a while. So it's been good so far.
Very good. Talk about the farm system that you have, because I think the last time you were on the show we didn't dive deep into the farm system. So talk about the players that we should be looking into that could be getting called up this year.
Yeah, the Orioles no longer have that kind of number one farm system in baseball that they had for a while they were really in the full rebuild led by Mike Elias. They had players like Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman and Jackson Holliday, Christian Rodriguez coming through the system. They were all top 10 prospects, 3 in a row. Gunnar, Adley, and Jackson were number one prospects in baseball. They have Samuel Basallo right now. He's kind of a consensus top 15 prospect in the league. He is a huge left-handed hitting catcher who can also play some first base, who kind of looks like Yordan Alvarez of the Astros out there. He's just so massive with big power at the plate. There are still some questions about his catcher defense, so there's some worry that he'll become a first baseman or a DH, but I think he can be a catcher. He's in AAA now. Unfortunately, for him, the Orioles have Adley Rutschman, so it's tough for him to just be called up and immediately be a catcher. And he also has 2 different injuries right now. He has some elbow inflammation. He has a hamstring issue, so he is on the injured list in AAA, but he could be up this year. Then the other big name is Kobe Mayo, who did make his debut at the end of last year. He's a third baseman, huge power from the right side of the plate. He just, he only got about 40 to 50 at-bats last year, and he really struggled. Some guys do struggle when they're 22 years old and they first come to the big leagues. There's just not really a spot for him on the big league roster right now. Eventually this year there will be, and definitely next year there will be, but he's also off to kind of a slow start in AAA. So it's going to kind of be interesting to watch. It is really intriguing, though. The Orioles have those 2 prospects. They're both in AAA. They both should be in the big leagues at some point this year, and they're both top 25 prospects in the major leagues. And then beyond that, the reason why the Orioles don't really have that top 5 system in baseball anymore is because beyond that, it's just a lot of guys with questions. Yeah, they get called up, right? And that's not a bad thing, right, David? Like, you have all these great prospects. You'd like them to be in the big leagues. You know this with the Red Sox right now. The Red Sox system isn't going to be ranked as highly next year because Campbell and Anthony and maybe even Meyer will be in the big leagues. Yeah. And that's a good thing. And that's kind of what the Orioles have gone through the last couple of years. And so there's some other interesting guys. Their last 2 first-round picks, outfielders Enrique Bradfield Jr. and Vance Honeycutt, should both be in AA this year. They're both really interesting players, but they both have huge question marks and are not going to be factors in the big leagues for the next year or 2. So it'll be interesting. They still have a couple of super prospects, but it's not the system it used to be.
Yeah, and I think the Tigers right now have the number 1 farm system. Am I correct right now?
Yeah, I think at least some outlets they do. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Tigers will start to, they've been on the roll recently and had a postseason run last year against Adrian Hinn's former team, the Astros, speaking of which. So it's going to be interesting to see what teams with the farm systems can do in the near future coming up in the next couple of years. What team in the National League do you think has the best farm system, if we look closely to that?
Yeah, it's interesting. You have some of these teams that have guys that are fairly close to the major leagues. I always look at the Padres, not because they're always ranked the highest, but because the Padres do such a fantastic job of turning guys you've never heard of into incredible prospects. The funny thing with the Padres is their GM, AJ Preller, generally will then trade those guys before they ever get to the big league so he can make his big splash. Now, he obviously kept some of the best ones. He kept Fernando Tatis. He kept Jackson Merrill, who they turned into a great player and just signed an extension. He's kept some of the best players, but he has no problem trading those guys to go get, the biggest one being a Juan Soto a couple of years ago, but to also go and trade some of those guys. So I'll always trust in the Padres to have a great system. Somehow, some way, the Dodgers still have a great system, even though they have the best.
I know, it's crazy.
As well. And then the other team I'll at least give a small shout out to. I don't have huge faith in this team's development process, but the Nationals do have some intriguing young players that are starting to get into the big league that could. I don't know if this is the year they fully turn around. I think 2026 will probably be the year they turn back into a playoff type team. but they have some interesting players, guys like Dylan Cruz and James Wood, who have gotten to the big leagues, and they've got some pitchers and some bats who are coming up shortly as well.
One of my friends recently said that earlier before the season said, look out for the Nationals, and I think they might be a little bit underrated because they had a huge win against Dodgers last night as we're recording this. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go forward this season. And same with their Orioles as well, which is a team that has postseason experience now. How many years do you think, if I choose, say, okay, this is going to be a World Series championship contender?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been a World Series contender the last 2 years. It's hard to say how big a chance they had to do it. They did in 2023. They won 101 games. They won the AL East. That's a team you feel like they were the number one seed in the American League. You got to feel like that's a team that can win the World Series. They get swept in the ALDS by the Rangers, who actually go on to win that actual World Series. And it's just like, okay, this team was too young. Most of that team, David, I forget what the number was. I think it was 3 of their 26 players had actually even played in one single playoff game. The team was just so young that nobody had really ever been there. And so you chalk it up to that. They don't win the division last year, but they get a wild card spot. They get to play the playoff games at home. And they're playing against the team in the Royals that hadn't really been to the playoffs. And the Royals come in and sweep them. And then last year, I think it turned to like, okay, they've now played 5 playoff games, this kind of core group. They've lost all 5 of them. 4 of the 5 have been at home. And you just start to think, when can they get over the hump? Because I think talent-wise, even though the team looks different this year, no Corbin Burns, no Anthony Santander, I think talent-wise, this is a team that still has enough good players to get hot and win a World Series. But at some point, David, they just have to first win one playoff game with this group. They still have not even won one single playoff game with this group. So for me, it's almost like I think they have the talent to do it this year. Starting rotation, they would need to add to it for me to really think it's going to be a legitimate World Series contender. But I want to see them win a playoff series. Like if they were a wild card team this year, I just need to see them win a wild card series, win 2 out of 3, and just advance to the next round. And then I could say, okay, this team can win a playoff game. This team can win a playoff series. If I see them do it once, I have the confidence they could do it 3 more times or however many more times they would need to do it. Unfortunately, we haven't seen them do it at all. And so talent-wise, yes, they can. But they got to get over that hump at some point. And hopefully that's this year. Even if they don't win the World Series, if they can win a playoff series or 2 this year, that will just take a huge weight off their back, potentially heading into next year as well.
Yeah, just a playoff series, it'll just be like the mission complete right there. But you'd rather be in this position than a team like the Colorado Rockies, for example, where they just don't go to the postseason at all. And I think you're totally grateful that you're in a space where you have a great farm system, something even the Angels don't have as well, that it can still contend for a World Series, in recent years, like you said.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather be in the playoffs than be losing a lot of games. It wasn't that long ago that the Orioles were losing 100 games, so I'd much rather be in this position.
Yeah, I remember, like you always said yesterday, like, for example, let's just say the end of the 2010s weren't pretty, but in the mid-2010s, they were pretty good. I remember, there was, 2014, 2015. Like I've always said, their 2014, they're division winners of that era for a reason. I thought they always been a tough competitor when they come to Boston, even in 2018, 2019, for example. Even though they were a historical bad team, I knew when they come to Boston, they'll have that competitive fire because they were those division winners previously for a reason.
Yeah, they've historically played well, especially under Buck Showalter in that era. They played really well at Fenway Park, actually, in total. Yeah.
And what do you think about the Red Sox this year? To be honest with you,
they look like the best team in the division so far. Really, as soon as Rafi started to hit, and I know he hasn't fully come back to what he should be, but after the 0 for almost 20 that he was to begin the year, that offense is scary. And that was a team that had a good offense last year with a pitching staff that started off so great, that not throwing fastballs and throwing everything else.
It worked great at the start of the year.
Kind of crumbled down the stretch, and I still thought that offense was good. You add Bregman, I think they're doing good by Christian Campbell, letting him. He's hit well. He's gonna slump. That's gonna happen at some point. But to let him get it out of the way now and have him be ready for the second half of the season and be ready for the postseason, I think they're doing well by him. For the Orioles' sake, I hope that there's still a little bit of issue with Devers and being upset that he got third base taken. But for the Red Sox' sake, if that is their biggest hurdle this season, they're going to be a really good team because there is a lot of talent. I know some Red Sox fans don't like Yoshida, but I think he could still be a good hitter, and he's going to come
just
back.
Be a pinch hitter. Just be a pinch hitter.
They're going to have to find a way to play him, but he'd be one of the best pinch hitters in the league if that is his role. So I think they have a lot of talent. I still question the back part of their rotation. I know getting some guys back from injury like Giolito would certainly help that. But I would, if I had to predict right now, I think after the Garrett Cole injury, my prediction would be Red Sox to win the division. If the Yankees still had Garrett Cole, they still had Giancarlo Stanton, maybe I lean Yankees. But without those two, I think the Red Sox look like the best team right now.
I mean, the Yankees are the highest team right now with until they went to Detroit or Pittsburgh, whatever that was. They have Bellinger, they have Goldschmidt. Still a pretty scary lineup over there as well. I think they're in the postseason every year, so I expect them to be in the postseason every single year. But yeah, we'll see what happens. The Red Sox extended him Alex Cora for a reason, and that is to communicate with the players. Do you see some of that in your manager?
Yeah, I think there's some back and forth from Orioles fans about Brandon Hyde. I think it's because he's in a situation that a lot of managers don't ever get to. A lot of the times when teams do this full rebuild, the tear down, the tanking, and the rebuild, they hire a young manager to come in and kind of just tough it out through the bad years, right? Brandon Hyde was hired in 2019. The first team he managed lost 100 games. Then they had 2020, and then the second full season that he managed also lost 100 games. So he was in such a tough spot. And then in 2022, they didn't make the playoffs, but they had a winning record and they kind of started to turn things around. And I think there were some people that thought like, okay, Brandon Hyde did 4 great years of managing this. Now they're going to bring in some sort of veteran manager and get them to the next step. They didn't. And then they won 101 games and won the division with Brandon Hyde. So then it was like, okay, maybe he is the right guy for the job. And then, 92 wins was a good year last year. Don't get me wrong, but they had some disappointments. They had a lot of injuries they dealt with last season. And some Orioles fans are starting to grumble about, should they move on from Hyde? I think Mike Elias loves Brandon Hyde, and I think they come as somewhat of a package deal as GM and manager right now. And Hyde's won a lot of games in the last couple of years as the Orioles manager. I think he does a good job with the relationships in that clubhouse. I don't know who the Orioles would really target if they moved on from him, but I still like Hyde being in that seat. But I will say, if the Orioles either miss the postseason or if they make it again and get swept again, they go another year without winning a postseason game, I do think we'll have to have a conversation in Baltimore about is Brandon Hyde the right guy moving forward.
Yeah, because they need that manager to help them get over the hump in certain areas. And I was shocked they kept him after the hunt. I was shocked to learn that they kept him after the 100 lost seasons, because it's very tough to be in that situation when you're a manager like that. And look at the Phillies a few years ago. Who did they get rid of halfway through the season? John Madden. They didn't kept him. And guess what? They brought up their bench. I forgot what his role was at the time. But they brought in their new guy, and they went to the World Series in 2022 with the Phillies. So it's very hard because you can get fired at any time. And depending on the fan base, of course, because let's say the Orioles were in Philadelphia, your manager will last that one. Trust me.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it helped him that his first 4 years, he had zero expectations. There couldn't have been less expectations on a manager. It was like, just get us through this. We know we're going to lose a bunch of games. And now for the last couple of years, it's the first time there's been expectations. So now he's getting graded much harder now on how he handles those.
Yeah. So tell us about what is your hold on, let me edit that. So tell us about what you've been doing up these days. Last time you were doing your Locked On Orioles show. You're still doing that now. What is some of your favorite parts about doing the Duck Down Oats podcast these days?
Yeah, I gotta say, I think I realized this in the second half of last year. So the Orioles had a fantastic start to last season. They were in first place at the All-Star break, and then they were basically a 500 team in the second half. They didn't play great baseball. They still got a wild card, but the Yankees ended up winning the division. And I wouldn't call them a bad team in the second half because if you're a 500 team, you're not a bad team. They were just kind of very up and down. And there were some nights, David, where they would lose 6-1 to the Tigers, and it would just be like, what do I really talk about here after they lose 6-1 to the Tigers? Because it's a show that I do 5 days a week, coming up after each game. And I will say, I think the best part of the show is if I'm, it's because I'm still a fan of the Orioles first and foremost. I host this podcast, but I do it because I am a huge fan of the Orioles. And I think what's been nice is when they do have those games that are frustrating and they lose a important game in September, they lose a postseason game, whatever it may be, I can immediately jump on the show, which is something I have to do anyway for this podcast that I'm hosting, and basically talk for 30 minutes about what went right, what went wrong, frustrations from the game, whatever it may be. And then I finish that podcast after 30 or so minutes and I go, all right, I kind of got it all out, and I've done my research and I cite stats and I go through things that each player did. And I get to the end of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm still a little upset that they lost, especially after the 2 playoff losses. But I got a lot of it out in those 30 minutes, and hopefully a lot of people listened or watched it and enjoyed what I did. So I think that's the best part. It is a grind doing 5 podcasts per week.
Yeah.
It's definitely a grind, but I think that's the best part of it. Like, for example, last week, the Orioles Red Sox series, the O's win the first game in their home opener. It's sold out. The fans are loving it. They're scoring run after run. And then the Red Sox come back and Crochet shuts them down on Wednesday night. And it was a little frustration of the Orioles getting shut out. Obviously, Crochet is a great pitcher, but also the frustration of the Orioles were also talking with the White Sox about Crochet this offseason. And the Red Sox made a better offer. And the Red Sox just made a better offer and they got him. And it was the frustration from Orioles fans, not only that, oh man, we just got shut out. That's always frustrating. But also it was the Orioles lost Corbin Burns. They didn't replace him with another ace this offseason. And they were at least interested in Garrett Crochet, and now he's on a division rival. And so you have those frustrations right after the game, and I get to just go talk about him for 30 minutes, and other people can chime in on the conversation, and then I get done with those 30 minutes, and I go, you know what? That loss doesn't really bother me that much anymore, and it's baseball, so there's a game the next day, and they can hopefully bounce back. And so that really, I think, is the best part of the show, which I've been doing now for over 5 years at this point, is just the ability to, especially as the team's gotten better. David, when they were losing 100 games, I wasn't getting frustrated after they lost because I expected them to lose almost every single game. It was more the excitement when they would win. But now when there are expectations and there are more frustrations after the losses, it's a nice way to just kind of get it all out for 30 minutes and then you move on to the next one.
Yes, indeed. And what if there's like a doubleheader? Do you still do the podcast after the games?
Yeah, and I'll my show is split up into 3 segments, about 10 or 15 minutes each segment. And so if it is a double header, sometimes it's nice because then I'm like, okay, I have 2 games to talk about. That's 2 out of my 3 segments. I only have to figure out what to do for 1 more of them. So that always makes it nice as well. There's always stuff to talk about. The double headers are always weird though, because it's a 5-day-a-week podcast, the happiness of the people listening or watching kind of stems on what happened with the game. So if they won last night, I will tell you right now, when the Orioles win, I get more listeners than when the Orioles lose. It just kind of makes sense. People want to listen to stuff about their team more when they win. It's always weird.
I kind of feel like that with certain podcasts too.
And it's weird when there's a doubleheader because if they split the doubleheader, you've got a win and a loss, and you never know if people are going to want to listen to just hear about the win, then turn it off if they're not going to want to listen because you're also talking about a loss. But yeah, I do fit in both games when they do have a doubleheader.
Yeah, I have that certain feeling with certain like Boston sports podcasts where I just want to listen when they do something good, but we're not doing good. I don't want to waste my time, But unless if I'm bored or another person personally, but it is what it is. And what time do you usually upload those podcasts for those I'm wondering?
Yeah, so I usually record after the game ends. So I actually love the pitch clock. The pitch clock has been one of the best things for my podcast because it has cut 30 minutes off these games. And that means I can go to bed 30 minutes earlier when I am recording podcasts after the games. So, the Orioles play a lot of 6:30 games. So game's over by 9 o'clock. I pretty much immediately record, edit, and upload. That's in by 10. And I'll usually schedule it for the YouTube episode goes out at 7 a.m. the next day, and the audio posts at 3 a.m. Just the audio is up as basically as soon as it possibly can be. So I kind of get those up early, and then nothing on the weekends, which is nice. So, I don't record on Fridays or Saturdays, but then on Sundays, 1 o'clock game, usually on a Sunday. And then at about 4 o'clock, I record and I recap all 3 games from the weekend in one episode and schedule that for the next morning.
Very cool. And that'll be it for this segment here. And go check Connor out on the Locked On Orioles podcast on YouTube and also Spotify. And I think that's all the platforms right there. So that'll be it for the segment. And we'll be right back after this. All right, folks, I'm here with Turd here on Chilling3000 Hangouts. How are you doing tonight, Turd?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for taking your time for doing this interview here tonight on this Friday night. So my first question is, how did you get into the game show community?
Well, as far as the online part of the community, it really just started off from me watching YouTube and saw one of the very first game show marathons that Brandon Scruggs did over at MVG Productions. And as I watched through it, I'm like, man, it would be really cool if I could just, play a game with that group. I figured they were all friends or something. I was like, man, it'd be cool if I could just play with them once. So I reached out to Brandon and stuff from there through their Facebook page. And I guess, as they say, from there, it was everything else was history.
That's right. And what was your favorite part of the Games of Marathon that just brought your attention that you need to be part of this? What was that main reason that you wanted to join because of the Games of Marathon? What was the importance of that?
I guess you could call it the tournament format of it was really cool. Of course, I had remembered seeing the game show marathon that had aired back on CBS several years prior that they had done with celebrities and really enjoyed that format. I wish it would have lasted longer. But just this idea of, playing in different games, different people playing in different games, trying to make their way to the end of a tournament. That was really cool. But at the same time, I had some of Big John's old games and stuff, but had never thought of it in a format of, let's get together a bunch of people online and, play these games and record it and stuff. I would have never thought of that. So, I guess that's kind of, the two parts of it were really important together that kind of, I guess, pulled me in.
Absolutely. How did you get into game shows since we're on that subject?
Oh, wow. That would go all the way back, of course, to my childhood. I used to, I can remember I would be in the living room watching the old Nickelodeon Double Dare. Oh, yeah, man. I would be in the living room watching that and jumping up and down. I can remember my mom being in the kitchen, maybe making dinner or whatnot. And she'd be like, "You've got to stop jumping up and down. You're making the whole wall shake." So, of course it, started there. And then I really remember, I don't know that I really watched any of them, quote unquote, first run, but the old tic-tac-toe, that was always a really big one for me. I remember my mom growing up watching Price is Right. The old Barker stuff. I can remember at nighttime. Normally it might be if I got up in the middle of the night or something. My mom would be watching Let's Make a Deal, the old Monty Hall version. So, I think in a way, even though it wasn't that my mom was sharing that with me at the same time, I saw her watching it. And I think that kind of, was something that drew me in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And do you remember when Double Dare, like what was the airing time for the TV guide? Do you remember what
Um,
days of the week?
yeah, well, let's see. I feel like it was on. It really feels like it was on at least multiple days a week. And
Yeah.
I want to say it was maybe like 4:30, 5:30, somewhere in that ballpark in the evening that I can remember watching it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Now, of course, everybody knows who as Turd Ferguson on the game shows.
Yeah.
Explain to the people what that name is and why you wanted to be known as Turd Ferguson, because so many people just asked me to tell you that. So,
Yeah. Well, and I guess we could go back kind of to the start. And I don't mind telling people my actual name's Richard Montgomery. But
okay.
whenever, I was going to, start doing things on Discord and kind of get into the community, I'd had a username that I would use, in different, like back in the old AOL chat room days or stuff like that. I did Death in Threes. Myself and a buddy of mine, we were working on writing a actual movie script. And that there was a premise kind of surrounding that whole idea of how death comes in threes, or at least it's an urban legend. Well, after a while, it was just one of those things. I'm like, I think I'm going to change my name. And I loved the old Celebrity Jeopardy segments on Saturday Night Live, the late Norm Macdonald playing Turd Ferguson and just kind of being that snarky, lovable, moron, I guess, in a way. And just love the sense of humor. It's I guess in some ways it's very similar to my sense of humor. So, and just, I mean, hey, who doesn't, what those of us that are, whether we're younger men or older men, don't get a good kick out of the word turd. So yeah, it was just, I think I'll go with that. And there was just something about it that just stuck. And even to this day, it's funny because there are some people that cannot bring themselves to call me that they'll call me Mr. Ferguson or Fergie or something like that, that they won't say turd. I guess they think it's maybe a little foul or whatever, but yeah, it's really just kind of an homage to Norm Macdonald. Oh, David, you've muted yourself.
Sorry, I had to cough there.
No, you're good.
As I was saying, I can tell you're a big Saturday Night Live fan. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And see, for me, even though I'm a little on the older side, I'm 46 now. I really grew up. What I remember was the days of Adam Sandler, Phil Hartman. Trying to think who else. Well, Jimmy Fallon come a little later. But for me, it was really in that era. There, Nora Dunn, Victoria Jackson, Kevin Nealon, so Mike Myers was on the show. I'm trying to remember the Dana Carvey that played the church lady. So that was the Chris Farley, of course. That was kind of the era that I grew up in, and from what I understand, that was, I think a lot of people know that Saturday Night Live has had a lot of their ups and downs. Like you'll have a cast that comes together and they're just kind of like they're magic together and whatnot. And then when that cast all kind of goes away, it's almost like there's a little bit of a lull for a little bit. And then another great cast comes together and they have all these ups and downs. So, that group that I watched, that they were kind of really in a high at that point.
Absolutely. And I assumed you watched the anniversary special, the 50th anniversary special.
Believe it or not, I've not gotten the chance to catch that one yet. That's one of the things, like, I don't have I don't subscribe to traditional cable. The only reason I've got anything is my parents subscribe to DirecTV, and DirecTV don't get me in trouble for this. But since they have it, I've got the DirecTV app on my Roku TV, and they gave me their login so I can watch DirecTV that way. But even me and my wife say if we watch stuff, normally it's just stuff that's regular streaming through, Netflix or Hulu or whatever. And a lot of times I'll forget that I even have access to the DirecTV unless there's something big going on, like a sporting event, like, was watching the NCAA tournament and whatnot. But yeah, so I missed the 50th anniversary. I'm hoping at some point I can go back and catch it, though.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people put online somewhere in there's YouTube for that. So I have 2 questions here in the live chat. Normally, we know these interviews aside, but for this occasion, it's all good by me. Danny says, what are your favorite games to play in online groups?
Oh, favorite ones to actually play. I definitely, although I'm a smart guy. I'm not like stupid smart, as I would say, but I like doing Jeopardy, especially when people do it as Brandon Scruggs calls it Jeopardy, when you can do the funny answers. I love being able to do stuff like Match Game, which I know. I know Danny threw that question out there to me. I love that because it just, I feel like it lets my personality shine with the comedy. Of course, Tic-Tac-Doe is just an all-time favorite of mine. For me, most of the time, it's even more so the hosting that I love to do. I don't really get to play as much as I do host.
Oh, yeah. What game shows have you hosted on our community before?
Oh, yeah. So I can tell you right now, I'm actually getting late in the 3rd season of my Monopoly series, based, of course, on the old Merv Griffin game show from 1990. We're getting to the last few episodes of that. I've done a full season of Tic-Tac-Doe. Currently, myself, Jason Myers, and Travis Coulter, we're doing something called the $1 million Barry and Enright Cup. So because I'm such a big Tic-Tac-Doe fan, we decided to do this thing to where we got 3 of their biggest game shows they ever did. And kind of the way it works is we start with the Joker's Wild, which is hosted by Jason Myers. Land of Confusion, if you don't know him. But he does that. Whoever wins that game then gets to move on to become the champion on Tic-Tac-Doe, which I host. And then the winner of that game moves on and plays in Bullseye. And Travis Coulter hosts that one. And they get to keep the money that they win from the game. And then the bonus game, they're trying to win it to add money to the overall jackpot. And after we've done 20 episodes, which we have 1 episode left, then we're going to do what's called the Tower of Terror tournament. So 10 people make it. We start in a 10 versus 9 matchup. Whoever wins then moves on to play the 8 seed all the way down. That's been a ton of fun. I've done some other stuff. I actually had a software built for me based off of Winning Lines, the old Dick Clark game show from the early 2000s. I love that one. I've not gotten to really do a lot with it, but I love it. And then another big love of mine is Weakest Link. Oh my God, I love that. Again, there's a lot of great trivia there, but then there's also just being able to have that, really rough, snarky, just sense of humor that you can have with the contestants. And I love that one.
I met George Gray, who was part of that show.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess you got to do that. Price is Right.
That's right. So I got to meet him. Nathan Martin asked, what's your favorite game show in the chat?
Favorite game show. Yeah, really of all time. It has to be Tic-Tac-Doe. It's such a simple format, but at the same time, I think so much of went into that. While it was such a simple format, Wink Martindale was just such an amazing host. Just his the way that he was with the contestants, like he had such a command of his game. He knew what he was doing, but he was also willing to kind of poke fun at himself when he did something, when he messed something up, and just had such a great sense of humor. That show just was not the same when Jim Caldwell took it over for that last, I think it was 85, 86. It just was not the same show anymore. And then, of course, most of us, we don't talk about the 1990 version of it with Patrick Wayne. I'm looking forward to see what, God, I'm trying to think of her name, Brooke Burns, what she's going to be able to do with it, because I know that starts, I think it's in 3 days from the time that we're doing this interview. I really am interested to see what she's going to be able to do with the show.
And that's why I'm asking the Facebook page updated their background, I assume. So, let me see. You can rate this out, Turd. Was there a game floating around based off of Cherry X 2006? I think either you, Turd, or Scrubs told Tim about that years ago.
A game floating around based on Chain Reaction. I do know that as far as software-wise, I know that Travis Griffin has made a Chain Reaction software. That one was based off of the old Bill Cullen version. I have a PowerPoint version of it that was made by, I'm trying to remember that one, I think was made by Rusnick Creative. And that was more based on one of the Dylan Lane versions. I know John Bergman, he has made a version of it himself, which was a little bit more based on the, oh my goodness, now I'm going to forget his name. The guy that hosted Treasure Hunt, Jeff Edwards. His version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great game show host as well. Jeff Edwards.
He really was. I think, for me, I didn't really get to see a lot of his stuff new as it did getting to see stuff in reruns. Yeah. And I didn't appreciate him as much being younger as I do now. And I tell you, another game show host that's very similar to that with me, Tom Kennedy. Somebody that I never, for the longest time, I didn't really get why people loved him so much. But the more I watched, the man was just amazing at what he did. And he could come in just like he did for Password Plus and was able to take over and carry that show after Alan Ludden got sick with his, I believe it was cancer. Did just such an amazing job, great sense of humor. And I think that's so much of what goes into it is not only being able to have, a great handle of the show itself, but being able to kind of, sit back and be able to laugh at yourself and have great rapport with, whether it's the contestants or celebrities or anything like that. Yeah, Tom Kennedy, very, very underrated game show host.
Absolutely. Legend names in the game show world. Now let's move on to another topic, and that is you have done some coaching in the sports world. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so funny enough, the first time I ever was a head coach, I was 16 years old. I was playing community league basketball. I had played basketball. My elementary school actually had a team. It was a K-6 school, and then I played middle school. Well, then I was playing in the community league up until you aged out, which you aged out at 16. You couldn't play the community league anymore. So I remember I grew up in a small town, and I went to the people that ran the league, and I said, well, hey, since I can't play anymore, could I coach? And they said, we don't see why not. So I started coaching then. I coached for several years until I went off to a larger university. I graduated high school. I started at community college, still coached during that time, went to Middle Tennessee State University. Still kind of coached in community leagues for several years. And then a few years ago, I finally kind of got to do my dream, which was I coached my the middle school that I taught at. I got to coach their boys basketball team for 2 years. And that, even though we didn't have the greatest record during those 2 years, that really and truly was a highlight of my life, because I always wanted to be able to coach on the school level. So I wish it would have lasted longer, but the fact that I got to do that for 2 years, I really feel like it kind of brought everything full circle for me.
Absolutely. And you said that you're a teacher. I would say this about teachers: they are awesome at what they do, but I see that in teachers, they don't enjoy their job as much because they're always looking forward to their weekends, vacations, etc. Do you still have that? Do you have that mentality, or you're just looking forward to that teaching job every day? You don't care about the weekends, all that stuff.
Oh, I tell you, it's both for me. Like I enjoy teaching. I did lose my passion for teaching for a few years, but the reason I did was I had actually got placed at a alternative school. And for those of your viewers that don't know, that's a school like if you get kicked out of your regular school because of your behavior, whatnot, you get sent to one of these alternative schools. Think of it as school jail in a way. And I went there for 4 years, and it was the most horrifying experience of my life. I hated it, and it killed my love of teaching, because I wasn't getting to teach at that point. I was trying to survive. I was trying to make sure that, some of the kids survived. Like, some of the things I saw while I was there was just, it was just cruel and inhumane. I had a girl I taught in elementary school that would have never thought it. Well, she wound up at that alternative school for some reason. And she was in my class one day, she'd come in to talk to me. And another boy who was in the class saw her there, I guess said she'd been saying some stuff about him, and he just started beating on her head. And it was just horrible to see that. And just the way some of these children act. And that's one of the tough things about school now. You've got kids just are not like, kids always misbehave, but just some of the things that they're doing and saying now is just vile. I know today I had some students, they weren't in my class, but they had come down towards the gym, and they looked at another student and they used some racially charged, this was racially charged language, although they were all of the same race. I don't put up with that. I have a daughter that is mixed race, and she does not like being called that language, and I don't like hearing that language. I believe that we're all human beings. We should love on each other. We should, try to make a better society. And I told him, I said, you need to get out of here. I don't want to hear that racist language. And, they just thought it was a big joke, and they thought it was ridiculous that I was calling them on it for saying it. And it's just, it's so difficult. But to, I guess, really answer your question, I do still love teaching. I will say I do look forward the time to where I can retire. I've got about another 9 years before I can retire. But at the same time, as much as I still love it and I don't want to do anything else, I'm just like any other worker out there in the world. Like, I enjoy my weekends. I enjoy my holidays. I, enjoy my breaks and whatnot. And I think that's okay, because I think finding, a healthy balance between your work and your own personal life is really important to have to, be the best person you can be.
And also take care of your kids as well. A lot of the time, than just working. So that I could understand for parents, especially. Do you do any other work other than teaching or coaching, or is that it?
So I will occasionally do like the Shipt or Instacart or Uber Eats or something. I don't do it a lot, whatnot, but every once in a while I'll go out and do it for just a little bit. I kind of have found I like the shopping stuff better than I do the food delivery. There's just something fun about being able to go in and pick out people's stuff and see how quickly I can do it and get it to them and whatnot. So that's kind of the occasional thing.
Okay. I'm glad they like to work for other things as well. Than just one thing, get that extra money. So do you have any advice for someone at a young age who has been wanting to join YouTube? Because I know you have kids enrolled. I don't know if they're online. But do you have any advice for those who want to be part of our game show communities or gaming communities or sports communities, just any community in general on YouTube? What advice would you give them at a young age?
I think at the younger age, I think the most important thing, to be honest, is I think it's best to kind of sit back and just watch at that younger age and wait until, you're more towards 18 and whatnot, or even 20 before you kind of get involved more so in the online community aspect of it. Because I know a lot of the communities I'm in, the biggest one, of course, being MVG Productions, we're in an 18 plus only server, because, we have our crude humor, we do our silly stuff and whatnot. And, it's not really, as they say, it's not suitable, for kids to be in there and being a part of that. So I think, at this age, if you think you might have an interest in it, just go out and consume as much of the game show stuff as you can. There's so much that's new out there now because, game shows are kind of in a renaissance over the last several years. Go back and catch the old stuff too, because man, there's some old stuff that's really good. There's even this one game show from the 50s that I found that it was on a Roku channel that I had downloaded at one point. It was this game called Penny to a Million. And basically it's broke up into two sections, and there's four people that are the contestants, and they're getting like questions going down the line to each other back and forth. And then if, of course, somebody misses it, then they're out. But every question that's answered, the money doubles, but it literally starts at a penny and can go up as high as 1 million pennies, which could wind up, it could wind up equaling, I think it's up to $10,000, as I think. Now, of course, this was the 50s. $10,000 was a lot of money. Yes. But they played it in two halves, and then the people that won each half of the game faced off in the finale to find out who was going to wind up winning. They split the pot. The winner got 75%, and the runner-up got 25% of the pot. So it's, just consume as much of it as you can and learn about the different kinds of game shows and the different genres and whatnot. And then if you get to that age and you still find that you're interested in it, then that to me is the point that you then say, okay, let me check this out online and see what's out there, and understand not every community is going to be the right community for you. It's, you might go somewhere and go, you know what? Not bad people, but just I'm not kind of feeling it here. I don't feel like I fit in. There's several game show communities out there that kind of offer, little bits and pieces different. So, yeah.
100%. And also make sure if you want to host your own game show, make sure you actually have the right computer and internet, because I've been there where I want to host a game show and my computer decides to not let me. So, which is why I haven't been hosting, because not only because of that, but also to get a job and everything else. I am planning to have two game shows this summer, but they're easy to just do live to tape. So, so just make sure you have the internet, and also just be a good person and respect people, which is the number one thing.
That's a really big deal. I'll start with on the technology at first. It is a really big deal to have good technology, especially if you are wanting to put yourself out there, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch or TikTok or wherever you might want to put your put your content out there on is, you've got to be able to multitasking is very important with it, because you've got to go back and forth between, like say I do most of my streaming on YouTube through the MVG Productions channel. Yeah. And you're having to go back and forth between getting it set up on YouTube Live, using a software like OBS to be able to get it streamed or recorded. Then you're running your actual software for the game itself. And then working within, something like Discord and making sure you're sharing your screens with people. And sometimes then you have to have a separate buzzer software. So there's a lot that goes into it. And you can very easily, if you've got kind of a lower end computer, you can overwhelm its resources running all those things. And it really affects the product big time. But like you said, there's also a big part of that to where you have to have a really good rapport with the people that choose to play your games, because they don't have to play your games. That they can make those choices. So you're having to find the right games that people are interested in, and then be a really engaging host. You have to know the show, know how it works, know the rules, and just be able to run a really fun show. And then that's not even taking into consideration making sure, I do a lot of my shows live streamed. So then I'm, also trying to keep my eye on my phone to see what the live stream people in the live chat are saying, so that I can also
always have people helping you behind the scenes.
Yeah, if at all possible. Yeah, that definitely is a good thing. And, I definitely try to have a good team. One thing I haven't mentioned is my little quote unquote production company. We're called Grandma Studios. And which kind of comes from a joke that John Bergman started a long time ago, for those of you that might know John. And I just kind of took that name and ran with it. And
how was the joke?
Yeah, so the whole joke, kind of just basically centered around him talking about his quote unquote grandmother, and all of the silly or racy adult humor type of stuff that grandma would say, and it just kind of came from that. It's like, oh, she said something that was naughty, and it was like, grandma, and it just was born. Literally, it was just born out of that. So yeah, Grandma Studios, and we have so much fun with it. And, I've got a really good group of people surrounding me to do that. I mentioned Jason, Travis, Gianni Peasy helps out with that as well. Neil Sternitsky. So just a really great group of guys to work with. And I think we put some really good content out there.
Absolutely. And you're more than welcome to do something here on Chilling3000 Hangouts, this summer when you're done teaching all that stuff. We can definitely work something out. Have you on Match Game more often, because like you said, you love Match Game. So we'll talk about that behind the scenes. We'll go from there.
Oh yeah, over the summer, I'll be able to play a little bit here and there. I'm going to be taking a slight break in probably May through October, which I normally do anyway from the hosting spot, because my wife is actually currently 34 weeks pregnant, and sometime in the next 3 to 5 weeks we'll have a new addition to the family, a new baby. Yeah, kind of works out perfect, because like I said, I normally Monopoly and stuff normally ends in April or May, and then I normally take a break and don't bring it back for a new season until October. So yeah, my hosting will go on a little bit of a hiatus, but I'll still be around to play some games.
Absolutely. Well, we got to do our weekly baseball rundown. Thank you so much for doing this here tonight, and we'll catch up again soon. So thank you very much for doing this.
Hey, thanks for having me, David.
You're welcome. That is Turd Ferguson, the host of Tic-Tac-Toe and many others on the Game Show community. And we'll be right back after these words from our sponsors right here on the Network 1000. And then the weekly baseball rundown.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Then welcome to the Network 3000. We've got you covered with all of the variety of content such as our weekly programs like Chilling3000 Hangouts, the Popcorn Panel Podcast, Sports Show Standing Stand, Breaking the Chains, and more. We also got the game shows, gameplays, play-by-play reactions, blogs, and other fun stuff that you can only get here on the Network 3000. Subscribe today.
All right, everybody. Unfortunately, hello, ladies and gentlemen. That is the wrong file. Whoops. That is not the file I was looking for. I was looking for. Whoopsie. Oh, what do we have here? I'll have Danny fill in while I look for the video file. What do you think of that interview, Danny?
That was great.
What was your takeaway from that interview?
We're glad to have We're glad to have. I'm one of those people that doesn't call him by Turd Ferguson. I call him by his real name, Richard. We're glad to have him in the community for his great service and sportsmanship and everything. It's great.
Absolutely. Okay, let me see if I'm in the right area here. I thought I was anyway. All right. Let me see if this is the right one more time because. All right. There we go. All right, everybody. Welcome to the next edition of the weekly baseball rundown here on Chilling3000 Hangouts. I'm filling in for Joey here tonight for this occasion. I have my good friends here by the names of Brandon D. Jesus.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Doing good. Jesse Ortiz.
What's going on, guys?
Kevin Henry. Kurt.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing good. Johnny.
Hiya. Sorry about I've got a lot going on in the background.
You're good. We don't hear anything.
Thank you.
And Eric Limo.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Doing good. We also have one more. We also have one more person coming in just a little while, but it is what it is. We'll get started with our reports of these fellow members' teams, and without we starting with Kevin Henry on the Cincinnati Reds this week. Go ahead.
I cannot go any further without talking about what happened today. And first, let me just say that anybody watching this who's a Reds fan and is already hating on Terry Francona, really needs to go root for another team because I'm personally very sick of it. He's been the manager of the Reds now officially for just 2 weeks now. And because the Reds have a losing record at this point, you got to give the guy a chance. And he's already proven himself to be a respectable, knowledgeable manager with his time in Philadelphia, Boston, and Cleveland. Give him some time to settle in. He's getting to know his team. The team knows him. They respect him. They love him. And I get so sick and tired of hearing all this fire Tito. I miss David Bell, so on and so forth. I'm sick of hearing that. The Reds had a good series against San Francisco, taking 2 out of 3 to finish up their road trip after getting clobbered by the Brewers. In fact, the guys at Chatterbox Sports in Cincinnati said it right. Milwaukee is Cincinnati's daddy. The Reds have lost 11 straight series against Milwaukee. And I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. But today, oh my gosh, the Reds had a day game against the Giants. They took a 5-0 lead. I think they scored 5 runs in, what was it, the 3rd inning, I think it was. They could not sustain that. The Giants wound up tying it up on a Wilmer Flores home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. They went to extra innings, 6-6, and bottom of the 10th inning, Mike Yastrzemski hits the 2-run home run to give the Giants a victory. Now, I understand that it is still early in the season, But if it doesn't matter who the manager is either, by the way, if you are staked a 5-0 lead, you gotta hang on to that. Otherwise, if you blow that kind of lead too many times this year, it's going to be a long season. And we in Cincinnati want a winner. I mean, we've won 2 Central Division championships in 2010, 2012, made the playoffs in 13. I don't count the playoffs in 2020 because the 2020 season to me was a joke. Sorry, Dodgers fans. And but it's been 35 years since our last World Championship, and though I don't expect the Reds to win a World Series this year, I do expect them to get into the playoffs. But if they play like they did today consistently, it's going to be a long year.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and I hope you have a good rest of your night and weekend coming up.
You bet, guys. Have a good rest of the show.
Thank you very much.
See you later, Kevin.
And speaking of the Dodgers, let's go to Johnny here.
Hi guys, sorry about the technical issues. As I said, what we've seen out of them so far is they pretty much picked up where they left off from last year, and to me, that's a pretty good sign of their chances of possibly repeating in the World Series. And the way I and not much else to say so far. They're doing pretty well, and I'll be the Dodger and Mariner guy. By the way, I have ties to both cities.
Okay.
In the future, as for the Mariners, so far it's been kind of feast or famine for these guys. Although they did win on a walk-off walk today, and so that's good. I mean, it's still early, as I said, but they still need to kind of improve, or else we're going to see more disappointment from them this year.
All right. And is that all you have to talk about?
That's all for now.
All right. Thank you very much. And
I gotta get
now
going.
let's
I'll see you
go.
later.
All right. Take care. Now let's go to Eric Lima about the Boston Red Sox.
Well, the Red Sox are off to. It was a really rough start, going on the road against the Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers took 3 of 4 against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox did win the first game. But the big story was in that series that Rafael Devers went 0 for 16 with 12, striking out 12 times, and that was a major concern. The series against Baltimore, I thought Baltimore was going to be tough on Boston, but the Red Sox lost the first game, which is a 4-game losing streak at that point, and then the bats started to finally wake up a little bit at a time. Some players hit their first homer of the season. Christian Campbell starting to break it, started to come out. Rafael Devers starting to see a few pitches, threw a couple of walks, and the Red Sox. Give me a second here, and give me a quick second here. Oh wow, the 10th inning. They're tied. The Red Sox are tied with the Blue Jays right now. The Orioles beat the Red Sox 8-5. The bats were starting to come around a little bit, and then the Red Sox shut out the Orioles 3-0, and then beat them 8-4, and then 3-game sweep of the Cardinals, and the bats came alive at Fenway. You talk about home. I knew that Fenway needed.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. I think a couple of games. Rafael Devers finally hit a home run. Finally got some base hits in the series against Baltimore, and the Red Sox beat the Cardinals 13-9. They won on a walk-off. The game got rained out Saturday, so Sunday day-night doubleheader, 5-4, and then with the walk-off in extra innings by Willie Abreu, and which was great. And then the Red Sox really unloaded on the Cardinals, 18-7 on the Sunday night game at ESPN. I mean, unloaded. I'm like, well, looks like the bats are coming alive. So, and then they run to a buzzsaw called the Blue Jays. And back At one point, the Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees were tied for first place in the American League East earlier, so I thought that was pretty impressive. But right now, the Blue Jays got the first two games, 5-2 and 6-1. 6-2 and 6-1. So, and right now they're tied in the 11th inning at 1. So this will be something to be. Earlier on, I'm very impressed. Like, I'm glad that Rafael Devers broke out of his slump. He's doing his thing. Excuse me. Broke out of his slump, doing his thing. And then you got Christian Campbell. If he keeps up the way he's been keeping up this year, he's going to be my early pick for American League Rookie of the Year. So the outfield is pretty good. I know Yoshida's down in Worcester working on his fielding, and I'm hoping that he can come back to the main roster and help out. But for right now, Red Sox are doing pretty good. Right now we're at 6-6, so we'll see what happens in this game against Toronto tonight. So that's all I got. And like I said, Garrett Crochet is pitching like an ace. It's on our rotation's going to be. Wait till Brian Bayo comes back and everybody else, Lucas Giolito. We'll see what happens. So until then, that's my report on the Red Sox.
All right, thank you very much. Now let's go to Brandon on the White Sox.
So just before I came on the air here today, the Sox game just went final against Cleveland. They lost their 7th game in a row by the score of 3-2. And yesterday, well, actually, before I talk about yesterday, during the game today, Corey Lee injured his ankle. He was attempting to steal second base, but then went back, and then he injured his ankle. So we don't know how long he's going to be out or the severity of the injury. So it looks like Matt Theis will take over at catcher for the foreseeable future because I don't see Kyle Teal getting a call up anytime soon. I was just looking at his stats in AAAs with the Charlotte Knights. He's batting 190 with an OPS of 673 in 42 plate appearances. But I think he's going to figure it out though. And we got him in the Garrett Crochet trade. And so I'm very excited for his future still, and I think he's going to be fine. But if you told me that at this point in the young season that Andrew Benintendi would lead the White Sox in all the major categories, I'm talking batting average, home runs, RBIs, on-base percentage and hits, I would have called you crazy. This guy was given the biggest contract in White Sox history, which is only $75 million because Jerry Reinsdorf never likes to spend money. Again, I would have called you crazy, but I got to give credit where credit is due. He's been really the only shining light on this team so far. He's actually putting the bat on the ball. He's playing good defense, and we'll see how long he can keep this up. But I want to go to yesterday. We just mentioned a walk-off walk with the Mariners today against the Astros. The White Sox lost on a walk-off walk yesterday against Cleveland in their home opener. And it happened in the 9th inning, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, and it was a 0-0 game. And it was the first time that a team won 1-0 on a walk-off walk since the Dodgers in 2009 against the Padres. If that's not the most White Sox thing in the world, I don't know what is. But like I said, we lost 7 in a row. We won on opening day against the Angels. We took a game at home in the series against the Twins. But this is just how the White Sox are going to be this year. I predicted that they would go 62-100, and it's definitely looking that way. Luis Roberts batting under 200. A lot of the players are batting under 200, but I think Robert will pick it up, and I think we will see him traded at the deadline, as well as some other players like Martin Perez, who leads the team in strikeouts right now with 13 and an ERA under 1. So he only signed a 1-year deal, so I can definitely see him on the move for a contending team, as well as probably some of our other pitching prospects. But we're going to get a lot back, and Sean Burke has won on opening day. I think he's a sleeper candidate to win AL Rookie of the Year, although I think that will go to Cam Smith, although he's off to kind of a rough start this season. But I really like what I see out of Sean Burke. But it's going to be a long season, but I do hope that we see some development and that we get more prospects in our farm system.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. And now we go to Kurt. Go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, I just wanted to ask you a question about the White Sox. You did see, since you were watching yesterday's game, you saw how that ended. You see how the whole ninth inning went down? It was single, walk, walk, walk. They didn't retire a single guy.
Yeah, and the White Sox only got 2 hits the entire game, and I think Cleveland only had 3, and that was one of them, and then the walk-off walk happened.
Right. I'm not even sure how many hits the Indians got tonight. They did not get. There's not been a ton of hitting going on with either team this year, but the Indians seem to be bringing across runs when they need to.
Yeah, it was a 3-2 ball game. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, they only had 3 hits again, and the White Sox had 8.
Yikes. Okay. Well, I hear that because the Mets are not hitting particularly well either right now, but they are winning games. So they are, after losing 2 of the first 3 to start the season to Houston, they are now 8-4, which means they've been 7-2 since then. That included a weekend sweep against Toronto, and they took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins at home. Today they lost 5-0. A couple of unearned runs scored against Tyler McGill, and then Edwin Diaz was brought in the 9th inning, I guess, to give him some work, and it just didn't happen. So right now, I'm looking at the team statistics. The Mets are actually leading the National League in earned run average with a 2.02 ERA. That is well above and beyond what anyone would have expected. So I've got to be pretty pleased with that. The hitting, it's low middle. They're averaging a little over 4 runs a game. The league averages 4.51. Again, these are numbers going into today's games. So they're doing okay, not great. Obviously, all eyes are on Juan Soto, and he's got a 925 OPS. He's had 4 doubles and a home run. I guess he's getting used to being at Citi Field, which is pretty nice. Some of the other players are doing pretty well. Pete Alonso has a new 2-year deal, and he's hit 3 home runs and 5 doubles so far this year. That 5 doubles is really important. For a long time, and over the last couple of years, he was hitting a lot of home runs without a lot of doubles. The doubles are usually a good indication that they're seeing the ball well, as opposed to if you've got 15 doubles and 30 home runs, it means mostly you're feasting off of mistakes. The big issues right now, they got a couple guys who just haven't started hitting yet. Jose Siri, I don't know what to expect from him. He came over from Tampa Bay, and he has not hit very much. They may have to start looking on the farm and looking at bringing up Jose Azucar. Mark Vientos is not hitting well, but he should pick it up sooner or later. And the guy I'm really worried about is Brett Beatty, who they've tried him as a second baseman this year. And his OPS, this isn't his batting average, slugging percentage, or on-base percentage. His OPS is 292. He's just not hitting at all. And, I mean, I hate to get down on players, but, Bill James once said you can't be stubborn about evaluating guys. And Beatty, in 568 career at-bats, he's 594 OPS. So we'll see what happens in the upcoming week. The Mets are headed out to Sacramento this weekend to take on the Athletics. And they got a week series, after 3-game series, I should say, after that against Minnesota. We'll see how it goes.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt. And now let's go to Tristan.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
Well, the Astros got squandered a 5-0 lead, and they basically that was bad, and freaking grand slam to win the game at the bottom of the 9th. The Astros also decided to trade away Rafael Montero for cash considerations for a player yet to be named. So they're going to bring Bennett Souza up from AAA to replace Montero. So we don't have a player. The Astros don't, or they're not going to tell us the name of the new player that we traded Montero for. That is crazy, but okay. The Astros are right now 5-7, and I feel they're gonna they're in a slump, but I think they're gonna catch it. They're gonna get better. We traded away Kyle Tucker. We let Bregman walk, for Isaac Parati. I don't get what they're trying to do. It's insane to get rid of your star player and Kyle Tucker for I don't know. We'll see what down the line what the all these moves will do for the franchise.
Moves. All right, everybody. Unfortunately, we had some difficulties with Charles trying to get on, which we finally figured out. For the next 3.5 minutes, he will be explaining his thoughts on the Chicago Cubs for this past week and for the start of the season. So, for 3.5 minutes, Charles, take it away now.
Well, the Cubs had a rough start to the season. As you know, they started their season a little bit earlier because they had to go into Tokyo to play the Dodgers in the Tokyo, what they call the Tokyo Classic. Unfortunately, they did not win any of their games there, so they started the season down. I believe 0-3, which is okay to start off a season as long as you don't continue on that trend. But since the trip, they have won 5 out of the 6 of their series. They've taken 2 out of the 3 games, and we've seen a lot of good play from everybody on the team, from the pitchers to the utility people, the offense and defense. They're finally starting to click. So I'm hoping to see some more growth as the season goes on. Unfortunately, they did lose their game to the Texas Rangers today, but they did win the series. So they're 2 out of 3 in the Texas Rangers series. Now they travel all the way to Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. So I'm kind of excited to see where that's going to go, given what's been with their Shohei Ohtani is their superstar. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out.
Yes, indeed. Do you have any other thoughts about the Cubs?
Well, all minus the Tokyo series, I think they've had a really good start to the season. Everybody seems to be working well together, and I think they have a pretty good chance of at least getting the wild card or maybe the division this year. We'll have to see.
All right, thank you very much. And that'll be it for this part here. We'll get back to what we were doing previously. And now we are going to go over some of the news that has happened in the past week before we potentially sign off here. Now we're going to pay our respects to Tony Plano and Dotio among dead in Dominican Republic tragedy that happened the other day. Much love to the Dominican Republic. They are a huge part of the game of baseball, and it's just sad to see what's happened over there. So, rest in peace to those who passed away during this tragedy, and our hearts are with the DR. So, our prayers and thoughts to them. Vlad Guerrero Jr., ladies and gentlemen, is staying in Toronto, which is going to be a 14-year, $500 million extension. Now, many of us were surprised, probably. Kurt, you were probably surprised, Brandon, Justine, Eric, because, am I correct? He said he wasn't going to talk about it during the season. And now, it looks like they got the deal done. I really thought he was going to free agency, and now he's staying with Toronto. He grew up in Canada, so it makes perfect sense for him to stay where he grew up with. So I never see him coming to Boston. As a Bostonian, I never thought he was coming to B-Town, but it is what it is. So congrats to Vlad Jr. on his contract deal. Now, MLB signer wonders if Profar has scammed the Atlanta Braves because, of course, with the steroids, that to me looks like very much of a scam for the Atlanta Braves because steroids, PEDs, 8-game suspension. He was a great player with the Padres, and it's just sad to see what he's done with the Braves, and that really affected the organization. So he's well known to be in that, and it is what it is. And Braves acquire Rafael Montero from your Astros jersey. So that's going to be it here for this episode of the Weekly Baseball Rundown. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next episode of the Weekly Baseball Rundown. See ya.
Have a
Take
good
care, guys.
Bye, all.
All right. You're back. I'm trying to get the thing back here. There we go. Now we're going to put the mic fault here. Email is on its way to help me with the share screening. CNBC, really?
MSNBC.
MSNBC.
The best news network of all time.
How often do you watch that?
I haven't watched it lately. But
I actually haven't checked out what is that news station show? Oh yeah,
News Nation, yeah.
Cuomo. Sorry, Cuomo. Yeah, we should interview him here on the show.
Yes, we should. He would be one. He'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I could talk about. Oh, I got a message. Let me see what this is. Oof. That is not good. Let's just say it has to be what they it has to be a dad and in a daughter. I'll check that picture more out later.
Yeah.
But thank you for Richard for joining us here tonight. That was actually a lot of fun doing that interview, more than I expected.
Yes.
Have you sold us your updated game show website since this?
I don't think we need to do that right now.
Okay, because I'm just trying to think of something while we wait for Emo to join to help us share screen on my wall. But we'll give it his time here. But so what is the weather like over there in St. Louis right now?
It's pretty good.
Hey, there's Emo. How are you doing, Emo?
Oh, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I guess you have to refresh this page.
Well, let's talk about what's happening on Game Show Network. On Monday,
Okay.
2 new shows are premiering. One called Bingo Blitz, and the other one is called Tic Tac Toe.
Tic Tac Toe, y'all. Yes.
Now, the host of Tic Tac Toe is not going to be a Mr. RTD. No. It's going to be the beautiful Brooke Burns from such shows as Masterminds, the 2013 version of The Chase, and another one of my favorites, Dog Eat Dog.
Dog Eat Dog.
They filmed these about a year ago, and they've been sitting on them ever since. It was supposed to premiere last August, but things happened. So,
can you hear us now, Emo? Okay.
what the hell is that?
Not sure what that was, but anyway, feel free to share screen the money vault now, so that way Danny can play the game. Because I'm on my MacBook, so I can't share screen. And
Gotcha. Uh-oh.
You're all good. And what is the buzzer game show schedule like these days, Dane? The game show's a buzzer. these days.
On Buzzer, they just show match game, classic concentration, The Price is Right,
Mm-hmm.
super password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Price is Right at 3 o'clock every day on Buzzer.
That's right. You can watch it.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder, now I think about it, I wonder why The Price is Right shows at 11 o'clock a.m. when it first started.
I'm not sure.
Which is a weird time, in my opinion, because it is in the morning, people are not home, and, it's like, you don't really get a lot of ratings at 11 o'clock a.m. when everybody's not at home, I mean, they didn't have any reruns in the afternoon back then, I think, anyway. Yes, there is summer reruns, but that's not my point.
Yeah.
What time is it in your area, Dave? Like 10 o'clock a.m. Central?
Say that again.
Is it at 10 o'clock a.m. Central in your area?
Yeah.
I can hear it, but I cannot see your search screen.
Yeah, surprising.
Oh, I see the search screen now. Okay. Alright, let's play the money ball. So we'll have Danny playing here.
Here, I'm gonna.
And hit the play button.
Alright, how's that?
Yeah, that's good. I can hear you either way.
Okay. So we're ready?
Yep, let's hit the play button. Alright, Danny, you know how the game works? Let's get started. Left to right.
Let's go to the left.
Okay.
Alright, to the left, you said?
Yeah.
And what number and what row?
Let's pick number 5. Row 1, seat 5. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
Hello. How you doing?
Doing good.
Alright. This one?
Yep.
Yes.
Show us the card.
And of course, you have to put it. You have to have the amounts from the least to the greatest, of course. And let's see where the answer's on. As Danny has beer. $45,000.
Oh, great.
Slots 10 to 1. What would you like?
Let's put it in number 5.
Number 5. Okay, number 5. Left to right.
Let's go back to the left.
To the left. To the left.
Let's go with number 10.
Number 10.
I had to think for a second.
Number 10. Yep, that's the one.
All right, that one?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Show us the card.
And it's a bail value 5% at 2,250. Don't forget email. I'm hosting here to serve.
Okay, who wrote that? You gotta be cheating.
What's that?
We hear you're at the network support PEDs.
No, I
David wrote that.
I did that because I was talking about Profar in that baseball segment.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay, so we lost track.
No.
Yeah,
It's too early. It's too early.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to go to bed, I can end the game, but
no.
So we're still 45,000. Pick a left or right again.
Let's try left one more time.
All right.
Yeah, that's just an email.
Let's try number 17.
Number
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
Show us the card.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Bud Light.
That's what you were getting. I knew you were getting something beer with it.
Hey, I just want to relax. Okay, it's okay.
If the president was here, he'll be disappointed. Anyway.
We're getting higher up in the money. Let's see.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, we lost Eric. Might be his computer.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I hope he can.
81,000.
81,000.
Where would you like that?
Let's see.
Hey, bad.
Let's put it in slot number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Okay. Let's switch.
Put you at $126,000. Now, where would you like?
Let's make a switch and go to the right board.
To the right.
Okay, let's try numero uno. 1.
The very top left one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Show us the card.
Let's hope it's 69,000 for episode 169. So
Of course it will be.
Yeah, that will happen on April 1st, 2020. 2020 was a great year, wasn't it? I'm just kidding. What's your favorite year of all time, Eric? While we're living, Eric, what has been your favorite year?
What is my favorite year?
Yes.
That's a good question. I would say 2000.
99,000.
I say 2004.
Oh yes, I agree with you on that one. Where do you want to put 99,000 there, Danny?
Let's put that at number 9.
Number 9. Stop.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Left to right.
Let's go to the right.
To the right.
Let's try my grandmother's birthday, the cursed number 20.
Of course, it's cursed for you, smuck.
Yeah.
Ouch. Okay, so show us the card.
Let's just say deal, no deal, the answer more.
I think my favorite year that I lived in was probably 2015, but if I could go back and actually see what life was like, I would pick 2004. Even though I was only 3 years old, I really didn't know what was going on back then. Okay.
$34,000.
Oh, great. Lucky 34. Let's let's put that in case number 3.
Number 3. Okay.
And we're not talking about 34 documents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's right.
You're now at $259,000.
No deal, Howie. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong show. Let's go to the left board, please.
I mean, it looks close to it.
Yeah, it might as well be. Let's go number 13 in the middle there.
The very middle card.
Hit it.
Show us the card.
Come on, 69.
Now, in order for slot 10 to be filled, it has to be $100,000 exactly.
$100,000. That's right. So you probably made the one decision there, Danny. But we'll see. We'll see. Stop. Oh, man.
Come on, stop. Yes.
$78,000.
We'll put that in number 7, please.
Number 7, okay. $337,000. You're halfway done.
All right, let's go to the left.
To the left.
And let's pick card number 11.
Okay, right there. Yep.
Number 11. Show us the card.
As it loads. Uh-oh. There we go.
Now I'm just trying to build tension.
Oh, okay.
That's weird, Eric. Huh.
Yeah, it's not letting me, I can still comment via phones, but it's not letting me sign in on the StreamYard. I don't know why, but my computer's been acting like a jackass all week.
80,000.
Yeah.
All right. You have 2 cards you can use. You can either pass on 80,000 or you can swap one of the other amounts with 80,000. What will it be?
Let's. What did David think?
You want me to pick for you?
I need a. Well, I'm kind of conflicted. Let's see. I think I kind of want to switch it for one of the other ones.
All right, you're gonna swap.
Yeah, let's do that.
81,000 or 78,000?
78,000.
Okie dokie. I think that's a good idea. You're now at 339,000. Left or right?
Let's go to the right.
To the right.
Let's go with number 5.
Okay. Now, if this is between 80,000 and 99,000, you have to use your pass.
Yeah.
And you'll be in the danger zone. Show us the card.
Right now, please. Before I play Equip.
Drum roll.
Yeah. And I feel it, Eric.
Again, I'm trying to build tension, dang it.
Yeah. I feel it, Eric. It's been a rough week for me as well.
All right, stop. Ooh.
Stop.
Stop, please. Come on. 78.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Now you have to
pass. You only have one. You only have your pass. You have to use it. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Again, epic fail.
Let's go to the right.
All right. To the right.
Let's go with number 22.
22.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's number that will score.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, it's on.
Show us the card.
Her song is feeling 22. For goodness sakes.
I've been listening to Gracie Abrams instead of Taylor Swift.
Good. Don't listen to Taylor
They're both pretty. They're both pretty similar. Oh God.
You listen to any country music, Daniel? Listen to any country music, Daniel?
Yes.
48,000.
Yeah, gotta put it in number 6.
Number 6. Only have one place there. Now, you're at 387,000. One of the next ones has to be either 100,000 or between 45 and 34, and 2 of them have to be below 34.
Yes. Let's go to the left.
To the left.
And let's go with number 6.
Number 6.
Let's hope it's good.
Show us the card.
Do it now.
Yes.
4,000.
I think we should put that at the bottom.
Number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
Okie dokie. 391,000. Yeah, one between 34 and 4,000. One between 45 and 34,000. And $100,000 completely for number 10.
All right, let's stay on the left.
Okay.
Number 21.
My age.
Number 21.
Oh, Sophie's here.
Sophie said 76.
There's no
Show us the
76,
card.
only 25 cards in this place.
Match game 76.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Danny, I was trying to ask, have you ever listened to country music?
Listen to what?
Country.
Oh, country music. Well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I like Johnny Cash and Glenn Campbell as much as the next guy, but... 100 grand.
It's only 25 cards, Sophie. In each board there. You can't pick 70.
Oh, game over.
We lost.
All right, Eric, it's your turn.
Okay, let's see what I can do here.
All right.
And I'm not picking any numbers. This is 25 cards. That means a total of 50 cards each. Okay, let's go to the left. To the left.
To the left.
Lucky 7.
Show us the card.
All right, 33. All right.
33,000. Where would you like 33,000?
Let's put it number 5.
Number 5. Okie dokie.
Okay, number 5. We're gonna go to the right.
To the right.
All right, to the right, to the right.
And to the right, and we'll go number 7 there too.
Okay.
As well, I should say. I say two.
Show us the card.
All right, I'm gonna go up 6 through 10 on this one.
Upward teams.
Let's go on.
$65,000.
Okay, put it lucky number 7.
Number 7. Okay,
Number
giving
7.
yourself some room there.
All right. We'll go back to the left board.
To the left.
And let's go number 1 this time. Numero uno.
All right, number 1. Here we go. Show us the card. Okay, this is your first bailout here at 5%, $4,900.
Oh, bailout?
Yes.
No.
Okay. No, he's gonna do.
Oh, 98. Put it number 9. Put it number 9.
Number 9, stop.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Oh.
No, that's your total.
Oh, okay. Oh, what am I I'm thinking I already got. All right, we're going back to the left board again.
Okay, to the left.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Okay, number 1's out. Let's try number 2 this time.
Okay, number 2. Show us the card.
I didn't know that one card number 1 was the bailout card. I would have.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Number 2. Number 2. God rest Jeremy's soul. Hey, Red Sox, get your crap together before I.
Yeah, they got
before I move to
Chicago.
before I move to Japan.
$88,000.
Put that at number 9.
Number 9. Okay. Put you at 186,000 now.
And we'll go to the right.
Okay, to the right.
All right, we'll go number 1.
Number 1. Show us the card.
I'm trying to strategize something here.
It's all about the strategy and mental thinking. As you're fair and square here, no like some other new things. Oh my god, my goodness. Oh, I had naked drink yesterday morning. It was awful. Try to be careful here.
$77,000.
Number 8. Number 8.
Okay, saving your cards, and putting it at number 8. You're now at $263,000.
$263,000. 1995. Stop it, Sophie. It's only 20. It's only 50 cards, 25 each. Going back to the right board.
She's just joking.
Go number 2 on the right.
Number 2. Show us the card.
As in money. I wish I could get $19,000 in cash and money.
That's not a look of
$47,000.
Put it at number 6.
As
Number
your only
6.
place there, number 6. Halfway through, and 310,000 is where you're at right now.
Alrighty. Let's go back to the left board.
To the left.
And let's go to the last card, number 25.
Number 25.
25. Okay.
No, I will not donate 2 cents to you, Sophie. 25.
Show us the card.
The day I donate 2 cents to you, Sophie, is the day I start drinking.
$12,000.
12,000. Number 2.
Going okay, slot number 2. Putting you at $322,000.
Okay.
Very well right
Let's
now.
go back to the left board. Go back to the left board. Oh, I did pick number 25. Let's go number 20 this time.
Number 20. Show us the card. Okay. 10%, $32,200.
No.
Okay, he's saying no to that.
And oh god. Lucky Ben's not here. We'll go back to the right board.
To the right.
And we'll go number 25 there. That's what I meant to do, first of all.
25 there. Right. Show us the card.
Where is Ben Wilner? We haven't seen him in a while.
Well, he did appear on both of us not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he did? Really?
Oh, no, he also did appear on Rant and Rave, I believe, on the live chat last night.
No. The day I do that is the day I start drinking.
Oh, well. I got to be there for that.
Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up.
Ooh.
60,000. You could either pass on that or you can swap.
Let's pass.
All right, we're going to pass. Still at 322,000. Pick again.
Go back to the left board.
To the left.
Let's see. Number 15.
Number 15. Show us the card. All right, another bailout of 15%. $48,300.
No.
Saying no to that. Okay.
That would be a good cause, Sophie.
We'll go back to the right board.
To the right.
And let's try number 15 there.
Number 15. Okay.
Danny's favorite year, apparently.
Show us the card.
What? My favorite. Oh.
$8,000.
Numero uno. Number 1.
Place you got there. All right. Putting at $330,000. 3 more slots remaining.
Yeah, 3 more spots. Let's go to the left.
To the left.
And let's see. What's the number? You got 13, the middle.
All right.
The middle one there.
Middle card.
Lucky 13. I hope it's lucky.
Show us the card.
No. Danny, I haven't heard that. Oh.
5,000. Well, you have to use your swap.
Gotta swap that. Number 8. That's okay.
All right. So that puts you a little lower, 327,000.
Okay, let's go back to the right board.
To the right.
And we'll go number 13 there as well.
Number 13. Show us the card.
Now. Please. What? Danny, I haven't heard that line in a long time. I'm just reminding where it causes.
I'm LeBron.
16,000.
Shut up.
Okay, give me number 3 on that one.
Oh.
Number 3.
Number 3.
I know.
What happened there,
Number
Emo?
3. All right, you're now at $343,000.
You're trying to build tension. You're building my tension, for goodness sakes. Let's go back to the left board. Wise guy.
To the left.
And let's go 5, 10, 15, 20, 19, 18, 17. The 17th card.
17. Okay. Show us the card.
Come on.
One. I need a $90,000 card or a $20,000 card would be nice.
Yep. Teach it.
Come on. Stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. No. Go up further. 90,000, 90,000. Come on. 90,000.
Come on.
90,000. Give me 90 some odd thousand.
Come on.
I'm so close.
Oh, wait.
Go 89,000.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Get me going. Get me going.
Oh,
100,000. Number 10. Number 10.
This is it now.
This is the killing circuit. Go back to the right board once again.
To the right.
Okay, there better be a 20,000 some odd dollar card. I haven't picked the 4th row yet. Number 20.
Number
that makes sense.
20.
20. Come on.
This is anything higher than 33,000. Over.
Yeah.
This is between 33,000 and 16,000.
Yep. 16 and 33,000. That's what I need. 20 something. 20 something.
Show us the card.
Come on, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. 20. 20. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. 20, 20, 20 something, 20 something. All right, start out.
Yeah!
You got it. You got it.
I did it. I got. Yes. Oh my goodness, I did it. Oh my goodness, I was hoping for a 20. Oh my goodness, that was great, man. I didn't think I would do it either.
You never done this before.
No, I never won this game before.
Wow. Congrats. I had to be quiet there for my celebration, but man.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Danny, do this. Alright.
I did it. Guilty as charged.
We have a winner tonight on the money vault. How about them apples, huh? How about the Gophers, huh? Wait, what? How about the Gophers? How about them?
I won the money vault, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did. You won the money vault.
I won the money vault. Let's celebrate.
Yes. Unfortunately, we have time for a regular hangout session, but we can hang out here for 5 more minutes before we end things off here because I gotta go. Unless you guys wanna do a wait, what?
How do you think I got this far, Sophie?
We can either go live for another 5 minutes or do this for another 24 hours. What do you guys think? 24 hours.
I got stuff to do. I'm not doing it in 24
Oh,
hours.
but now, Brandon, I already told you about this. Eric, we're gonna play a game on Tuesday night, pre-recorded, if you're available.
Tuesday night.
Of what game?
Match game. It's gonna be the Chilling 3000 Easter special, but it's gonna be pre-recorded, so we'll edit out all of the boring shit.
Any stuff going on Tuesday, Eric? If you want to do that, for match game is concerned.
Well, what time is that? What time are you gonna
Probably 9 o'clock Eastern time.
All right.
All right, I'll keep you posted.
All right.
Okay, and it's this Sunday.
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, this Tuesday. Okay, right.
But it'll be airing on the 20th.
Yeah.
FYI.
So that way we can get some content for Easter while I celebrate on my own, drinking some water. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna do that for you. What are you guys are your favorite Easter traditions? I'll start with that again.
Probably Easter eggs and playing with a big bunny.
Is that bunny Charlie? Wait, what?
You want me to go get the Easter bunny?
You want? I mean, your Easter bunny? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go get it. Emma, what is your favorite Easter traditions?
That's actually gone through a change. Originally, when I was a child, it would be hunting the plastic eggs. Now it's just hanging out at the same place where the eggs would be hunted. Yeah, but I'm not hunting eggs. I'm just chilling on a couch on my tablet or phone, whatever.
That's interesting. What about you, Eric? What is your favorite Easter traditions?
Well, usually back in the day, usually go to my grandparents' house in Lakeville, and usually catch a Red Sox game here and there. But
yeah, there's that bunny right there. How long you had that was for?
I think about probably 15, 20 years. It's been in our house for a while. Well, I don't know about that.
Danny's bunny as
I knew Sophie was going to make fun of the Easter bunny.
Well, yeah, Danny's his real partner will come on February 30th.
Yes.
And then this will be my reaction when that happens.
Nah.
But shout out to Michael Bombs. But that's going to be it for this episode of 3000 Hangouts. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We'll be back this Sunday for the next episode. Oh, well.
I love bunny, that's right. You have to have
Mr. Martin. This Easter special, you gotta join the 3000 episode for us to show your bunny. Bring to show your bunny. But
we're having an Easter special. Yes.
That was a horrible impression.
Well, no one knows how he sounds.
You were literally right. Everybody can actually see you doing.
Right, I know.
This is how it should be going. Is there going to be an Easter special?
I think so.
Was that coming from your mouth, Emo, or was that from the screen?
That was Brandon.
Well, what do you think, David?
Okay, well, see you this Sunday for the next episode. And why did I do this? Because I'm the Dag Nabbit. One moment. Super Dave Dag Nabbit.
Right. Yes.
So goodbye, so long, and don't forget to be the man of the future on Easter.
Yes.
Yeah, he wore skirts.